Hi writers, and welcome to week 3. This video is going to go over what's happening in week 3. I'll also touch on some of the work from week 2 in case you are still working on the discussions. Keep in mind to be gentle with yourself, pace yourself, and engage in those critical skimming techniques that will be of utmost importance as you navigate through college courses and lots of reading. So here on our home page, I'm thinking about changing our home page up a little bit so it just has buttons that link you to the modules. But for now, this is our home page. It should look familiar. If you scroll down, you'll see what was happening last week in week 2. We began Be Water, My Friend, the teachings of Bruce Lee. That is an ongoing discussion. And so you are welcome to continue posting on it. If you go ahead and click on it, you will see that we're still responding to chapters of this text. Let me just fix my screen a bit and enlarge it. We have the schedule here, and so the dates are also on here. These are not hard, fast dates that will lock you out because, again, this discussion will remain open. If there's a lockout date on it, it's just a reminder for you to post on there. So let's see, we are in week 3. So your task is chapters 2 and 3. Chapter 2 is Empty the Cup, and chapter 3 is The Eternal Student. Again, make sure that you're engaging in your critical skimming skills. You can skim through the chapter and really pull a golden line or something that stands out to you to talk about in this discussion. Don't feel pressure that you need to know everything or reflect everything that you did learn in your discussion post. We also have Tell It Slant, which is our primary textbook, weeks 1 through 10. So again, for weeks 1 through 10, you'll be engaging in this discussion. I'm not going to grade it until after it closes completely. But again, for week 3, you are looking at chapters 4 and 5. Chapter 4 is Gathering the Threads of History. It's a very short chapter. And then chapter 5 is The Body of Identity. It's about, it's pages 51 through 68. You can see here for the whole chunk of both of those chapters. Not too much. Again, engage in those critical thinking, critical skimming skills, and pull out just the juicy nuggets of information. If you missed last week, we read Writing the Family and Taking Place, pages 23 through 50, chapters 2 and 3, so you can brush up on those. For this discussion, you're welcome to only post on 1 chapter per section, so that would be 1 chapter for week 2 and 1 chapter for week 3. Again, just pulling a golden line or something that you learned. Going back to our module for week 3, moving forward, we are looking at week 3 technically would start here. What are you writing? We're opening up this section of our learning by thinking about what pieces you might want to develop that you've already started this semester. And so a lot of what we talked about in today's Zoom session was just different prompts that you can engage in for your first official essay of the semester. Keep in mind that you're working on your pieces the whole semester for the entire 13 weeks. We'll be workshopping them and giving each other feedback. And then your goal is to complete 2 polished pieces, roughly between 2 to 10 pages long, and to submit those by week 12 for our anthology by the end of the semester. If it's going to download, it might take a second. There are various prompts on the assignment for you to think about. Most of them come from our textbook Tell It Slant. Some of them are little writing activities that we have done together over the last couple weeks. Let me just open it up from a different file. Bear with me, folks. Again, the purpose of the prompts in class is really just for us to play, engage in ideas, and to see what inspires some of our writing, get you started. Remember that little bija or that little seed? That's really the purpose of our writing activities and our writing practice. And from there, you can continue writing whatever you'd like. We're just starting on our first formal piece. There's nothing due yet, just to give you some ideas of what we went over in Zoom. So you can look, or you can think about what inspires you or what you've already written. from our writing prompts and go from there. It can be a family story about your brother. It can be a mini biography of someone that you either know or don't know. It can be a chunk of your own memoir, like a first in your life or an origin story. It can be a food story, a food memory, or a sensory memory. Again, all these are fair game. I want you to do whatever inspires and excites you. So that is our first little project opening here with week 3. I'm going to go back to the home page because it's acting strange. But again, that is just what are you writing. This is an assignment folder for you to just check in and let me know how you're doing. A paragraph or two on how you're doing, what writing you've done so far that you're thinking you might want to extend and build on. As we move into week 3, we have the discussions that are listed here. We have Wounds of Passion, an excerpt of the memoir by Bell Hooks. I mentioned her today in our Zoom session, in case you missed it. There's a couple videos on that discussion that you can check out of Bell Hooks. Again, you don't have to watch everything or know everything. I just want you to be introduced to a brilliant feminist, gender, race theory scholar, amazing human, and awesome writer with her writing Wounds of Passion. She's got many books, probably 20 plus books, so including children's books. So we're just looking at a snapshot of one of them. Another reading that we're looking at here is Miss Dunwoody's Instructions for Excellent Housekeeping by Miriam Luken. Miriam Luken's great-grandmother is Caroline Dunwoody. So Miriam took the advice and the beautiful stories of her great-grandmother and turned it into a book. And so that's what we're looking at for this discussion. And then the last 2 discussions here are Just Be Water, My Friend, continuing with 2 more chapters, and then Tell It Slant, looking at those other 2 chapters. And so keep in mind to pace yourself, be patient with yourself, have fun, extract the most significant information to you for now, gathering those golden lines and hopefully putting them in your journal to cultivate your writing practice. Have a wonderful week 3. If you're still catching up on week 2 work, there's Life by the Cup by Zena Muzica, and there's Be Water, My Friend, the first part of Bruce Lee's memoir written by his daughter Shannon Lee. I will see you online.